Hello, I'm Dan from ASV Rentals and Sales, and today we're going to be taking a look at this 2022 Coachmen Pursuit 31VH model. I'm going to be showing you everything on the outside and then the inside, so you'll know what you have to do and what you need to know when you decide to rent from us. We're going to start off on the driver's side here. We have a lot of compartments on this side, so we're going to start off with the storage compartment in the front. Next to that, we have our propane tank. This will last about a week or so before you'll have to refill it. If you do have to refill it, truck stations and campsites will do it for you. There is a gauge here that will tell you how full or empty it is, but there's also one inside, so you can check inside instead. You really only have to come out here if you want to refill it. Otherwise, you can just leave it open. Since your fridge runs on it, you don't want your food to go bad. It'll also be for your stove, your oven, and your water heater and furnace. Over here we have two exhausts. We have one for the hot water. Once you switch this on inside, and I'll show you how, you'll see and hear a little flame going in here, so that'll mean it's on. Next to that, we have the furnace exhaust. Just like the hot water, you can hear it when it's on. Down here is our storage compartment for the power cord. This RV is a 50 amp RV, meaning this plug will have 4 prongs instead of 3. If you have a 50 to 30 amp adapter, which looks like this, you can plug it in from a 50 amp to a 30 amp. So if you only have 30 amp at your campsite, you can just plug it in here instead. Once you're plugged in, all the major electrical appliances will work. There'll be your TV, microwave, AC unit, outlets, all that kind of stuff. In the back here, we have our dumping station. So as you use the RV, your waste tanks are going to fill up, and this will be how you empty it out at a campsite or any other dumping station. So we'll give you this sewer hose. You just want to take this end of the teeth. You just want to clip it on right here, and then you're going to take the other end with the elbow and stick this in the ground. From there, you have 2 valves here, which are color-coded. You have a black valve for the black tank that's going to be exclusively for your toilet, and you have your gray valve for your gray tank that's going to be for your sinks and your shower. So when it's pushed in, it's closed. If you pull it out, it's going to be open. We recommend you open up the black one first, and then the gray one to kind of flush out the hose here. There are gauges inside that will tell you how full or empty the tanks are, so once they are empty, you can just unhook it and you're all done. Also over here, we have a few inlets you won't have to worry about during your rental. This will just help us winterize the RV. This will help us clean out the tanks for the next customer. But you also have an outside shower here, so if you were at, say, the beach and you want to wash off the sand before you head inside, you can just wash yourself off like this. Next to the dumping station, we have 3 inlets right here. The top one here is going to be for your TV cable, which we'll give you. So if you have cable hookup at your campsite, you can just hook it up to here, and then you'll get all the channels through cable. If you don't, there's also an antenna in this RV, so you can just find channels through the air locally. Down here you have 2 inlets. You have the freshwater inlet, and you have the city water inlet. You're going to be using the same hose, which we'll give you for both of these, but they'll be for 2 different purposes. The freshwater inlet will be to fill up the tank itself. So if you're on the road, you want to use something in the bathroom or in the kitchen, you want to take it off of the tank, and this will be how you fill up that tank. But when you're at a campsite, you'll want to take their water instead of your own. So you'll have to plug it into the city water, and this will bypass the tank, go straight into the pipes, and you won't be taking anything off of your own tank. And all the way in the back here, we have our generator. The generator is basically a substitute for when you're not plugged in at a campsite or you don't have shore power. This is going to run on the engine gas, so as long as you're at least about a quarter tank full of gas, you can expect this to work. I'll show you how to turn this on inside. Although it is powerful, sometimes if you run the AC and the microwave at the same time, it'll cause it to trip. In the case that that does happen, you just have to take this top part off here, and then one or both these breakers will flip back like this. So all you want to do is just flip these towards you. Apart from that, everything else is going to be inside the RV, so you probably won't have to come out here and worry about this. Around the back here, all we have to worry about is the gas and the tank. This will take regular 87 gas, no premium, no diesel, and the tank for this is about 80 gallons. Now onto the passenger side here. We have one big storage area right in the back here, and this is also where we put all the hoses and cords. So as you saw before, this is the sewer hose for the dumping station. And in this bag here, we have a few different things. We have this black wire, which is your TV cable. We have this white hose here, which is your fresh and city water hose, which you're going to plug into those inlets I showed you. And then we also have a 30 amp to 15 amp adapter you can plug onto the end of a power cord if you have a 50 to 30 adapter as well. Over here we have our propane outlet, which will connect to the propane tank on the driver's side. So if you have an external grill at your campsite, you can just hook it up in here and it'll take the propane off of the tank on the RV. Next up we have yet another storage area, not as big as the one to the left though. Next to the door here we have a few power outlets. You just want to make sure that you're plugged into shore power or the generator is running for these to work. And over here near the front we have a storage area where we've put the ladder for the bunk bed inside, the storage compartment for the outside TV. Again, just like the power outlets, you just want to make sure you're plugged in or the generator is running. Next to the door here we have a few stickers that will show the dimensions of the RV. We have the height here, which is about 12.5 feet, so you should watch out for places like parking garages, drive-thrus, anything else with the clearance. We also have the width here, which is a bit smaller than 10.5 feet, but you should still keep that number in mind. And the length is about 32 feet as well. As I enter the RV here, you'll see we have an automatic step that'll come out, and we also have a detachable screen door right here. As I enter the RV here, there's a few things at the entrance you should know. You have a fire extinguisher to the left here. We also have a carbon monoxide and smoke detector in the inside of the RV. We have a few switches for the lights. This one here is going to be for the step, so you can just leave this on. It just means that when you open the door, the automatic step will come out. You have the light switch here, which is for the lights on this side. You have the light switch here, which is for the lights on this side. And you have the awning light, which is for the LED strip on the awning outside. This switch here is going to be for the house battery. You can switch it on and off like this. You can see it's on right now. The house battery is right beneath me, actually, right underneath these stairs. It's going to be for very minor electrical things like the lights, the awning, the slide out. It'll be charged when you're plugged into your campsite or when the engine is running, so you really don't have to worry about that. Inside this overhead cabinet, there's a switch for the awning, which is going to run on the house battery. It'll go out about 8 feet total, and it's really only for shade, so if it gets windy or rainy or snowy, you should bring it back in. Next to the fridge is probably the most important part of the inside of the RV, which is your control panel. I'll start off with this little switch right above it, which is your tank heaters. This will keep the tanks from freezing in the winter if you have it on. So if you're going to a place, you're traveling to a place where it's below freezing, you can just leave this on here. Below that here we have our full control panel. This little rectangle will show you the levels of all the tanks. So if I press on each of these buttons, these will light up from empty to full. If I hold on LPG, which is your propane, you can see that that's full. Our battery is almost empty. Our freshwater is empty. Our black tank is empty. And our gray tank is full. There is no second gray or black tank for this RV, so you don't have to worry about this button. This switch here is for the TV antenna and radio antenna, so if you want to listen to music in the front or have the TV on in the back, you just need to have this on. You won't have to worry about this switch here. We have our water pump switch right here, so if I flip this on, this will take water from the tank. So if you're driving, you want to use anything in the bathroom or the kitchen, you just want to have this on before you use it. We recommend you have this off when you're driving, just in case you hit a bump, you don't want your faucet opening up by accident. We have our water heater here. You can use either propane gas if you're not plugged in. So if you switch this on, you'll hear the water heater exhaust I showed you outside turn on. It'll take about 15 to 20 minutes to heat up your water. If you're plugged in at a campsite, you can use electricity. It'll work the same way as the propane does, just not using propane. Below that here we have our generator. So this number will tell you the total number of hours it's been running since it was manufactured. So you can see it's about 1.4 hours here. To turn on the generator, you just have to hold down stop first for a few seconds to prime it, and then once you do that, you can hold down start, give it a few seconds, and then you can hear it turn on. You just have to wait about 30 seconds to 2 minutes. When the microwave beeps and you can see it turns on, that means the generator is running. Below the control panel is your thermostat. This will be for the AC and the heating. You just want to cycle through all the modes by pressing the mode button as many times as you need to. So if I push it down once, this will turn on just the fan. If I push it another time, you can see the snowflake turns on. That means the AC is working. So if this is set to a decent temperature, in a few seconds you'll hear the AC turn on. If I press it again, you can pass heat pump here. If I go over to furnace, it'll turn on the furnace. This will work on the electricity and a bit of the propane as well. And if you want to turn everything off, you just keep cycling through until the off button turns on. Next, I'll show you how to find channels on the TV. So you just want to hit source here. Make sure the source is set to TV. Next, you're going to press menu right here. You're going to go over to channel. And then here you can switch between air, which is using the antenna, or cable if you're plugged into cable at a campsite. I'm going to switch back to air since we're using the antenna here. I'm going to go down to auto scan, start to scan, and it'll take about 5 minutes to find channels for you. In the back here we have our sort of master bedroom, so we have a lot of cabinet space up and around. Over here you can hang your clothes in this wardrobe here. This is a 50 amp RV as I said, so we actually have a second AC unit just for the bedroom here, and then the first one is going to be for the cabin. We also have a TV here as well. Further up we have 2 bunk beds right here. We can also access the bathroom here from the cabin or from the bedroom if the slide out is pulled in. We have some cabinet space here. To use the toilet, you just have to push down on this pedal to flush it. Just make sure the water pump is on for anything to work here. We also have a standard shower here, and we have some bottles of solution in the sink here. This is just for the toilet, just to keep it fresh. If the smell comes up from the black tank, you can just pour a bit of that down there. Behind me, we have our fuse box and circuit box right underneath the bed here. We'll give you some extra fuses up front as well. Also on the control panel next to the fridge, we have our slide out button. This is going to run on the house battery, just like the awning, the lights. If this isn't working, just make sure that the keys are out of the ignition and the parking brake is on. The same goes for the awning. This is the RV when the slide out is fully out. The fridge here is going to run on the propane gas when you're not plugged in, you're on the road. And when you do plug in to shore power at a campsite, it will automatically switch over to electricity. So no matter what, your fridge is going to stay on the whole time. Over here is our kitchen area. We just have a standard house microwave. Again, just make sure not to run the AC and the microwave at the same time. We also have our stove over here. This is going to run on propane gas. So here are your burners. We have our igniter right here. For the oven here, you just want to take this knob, set it to light for about 20 seconds. Just hold it down and push it in. And then once you do that, you're going to take a long lighter. You're going to light up this metal rod right here and ignite. In the front of the cabin here, we have our sofa and we have our dinette area, both of which can turn into beds. We have 2 seatbelts on this side and 4 seatbelts on this side. To turn the sofa into a bed, you just have to pull it out like a futon like this. Just like that. And for the dinette area, first you have to take the cushions out. Then you have a little lever down here below the table. It's flipped to the right here now, so you just want to flip it to the left here to loosen it. And you can just push this down. And then once you put the cushions back, we have a 5th cushion that'll go right here. And then here's your bed. We also have an overhead bunk right above the driver and passenger seat. We just have these black latches on either side. You just want to flip it like this. You can bring it down and then out. Behind the passenger seat here, we have a little envelope that'll have the registration, it'll have the manual, and also some extra fuses. As far as the keys go, we have this one here, which is for the ignition. We have 2 keys for the cabin door, these 2 here. And then the remaining ones will be for the outside storage compartments. We also have this here, which will have our address, number, anything else you need to contact us. As I turn the RV on, you can see this display will turn on. On the display, we have our radio. You can connect your phone with Bluetooth, and we also have a rear view camera you can keep on when you're driving. Otherwise, when you put the RV in reverse, this will automatically turn on. We also have side view cameras as well. This is for the right and for the left. By my left foot here, we have our parking brake. I'm just going to push it down with my left foot. And to release it, there's a handle right here. Here we have our jack system. So if I just press on here, you can see it light on. If you want to bring the jacks down, you're going to press auto. It'll take about 5 minutes to bring all the jacks down. And if you want to bring them back up, you're just going to press retract. It'll take another few minutes to bring them back up. Before you leave, just make sure that all the jacks are up, of course, before you start driving. And that will do it for our 2022 Coachmen Pursuit 31BH. I'm Dan from ACV Rentals and Sales, and have a great trip.